Moving from a little village to like a city, like I was like, oh god, that's going to be so different. Everyone's going to be different. I don't know if we're going to, because everything's so slow paced back home, and then you come here and everything's a bit quicker. But it's not too quick. I think that's the beauty of your kids. It's that sort of.
And it's so friendly. And I do feel like everyone knows everyone in the sense of like students kind of. There's like a big student community, but again not so big. Everyone kind of knows of someone. You've got those mutual friends. So it is really nice in that aspect.
I think you just have to give yourself that time at the beginning to just settle in and actually just like realise, okay, this is now home, and like these are where the shops are, these are where my friends live, or these are where I can meet people. So where like I lived at home, council estate, come from like a less performing area, so it was nice to actually go onto campus and like have all this like refreshing greenery and all this space. It was so lovely.
I think I was worried about making friends because of, like you always would be, it's like that fear of the unknown. Like I felt really like small fish in a big pond, especially like I say because I came from a smaller village. I feel like it felt like massive and I felt tiny. But then I think because of the college system sort of making that pond smaller, it felt like it was more attainable and easier, and I could sort of see my way around it, and I could see how, I'll fit into this community and this is where I'm going to be now. It felt like there was a lot of pressure to, like, you were just going to make friends and like you were just going to get in and everyone's going to be best mates and like everything was just going to be perfect from the get-go.
It's not going to happen in the first week, and that's okay. Like there shouldn't be that pressure to think that, oh my goodness me. It's definitely like a learning period, and it's like a lot of growth will take place, and you'll walk away with so many great friends who will actually then be like your lifelong friends, which is great.
Being part of the queer community as well was such an interesting journey for me at uni. Like I came out at uni, and then York has a lot of like societies and events and stuff, so I kind of found some people through that and then met their friends, and that's how I kind of got into that, because it can be lonely at times, like being part of a community that you don't immediately see. It's like, how do I feel like safe and comfortable if you don't look at all the messy bits along the way and you just look at the end product? It's so easy to be like, oh that's really hard, I'm never going to be there. But actually, like, it's all the little, like I say, the messy bits, the sort of like journey and the bits where things go wrong, the people you fall out with, the people you choose, those moments where you're like sat in the kitchen and you're just like laughing, listening to music, and it's so simple, and like you just feel like, I don't know, that sort of feeling of like, oh, this is it, this is what it's supposed to be.
For me, definitely seeing other people on campus who are black was so nice to just be like, oh my god, there's somebody else who looks like me that's here. Like, I do deserve to be here, and that's all right. And I'm sure everybody feels imposter syndrome at the beginning, but if you've got into the university, you deserve to be here. You worked really hard to be here. What I was really lucky with actually is I was able to get a bursary in first year, which helped out with the accommodation. And I love the fact that the university actually applies for your bursary on behalf of you, which is quite nice. So you kind of just get an email saying like, oh, by the way, we're going to pay part of your accommodation. And you're like, oh, great, thank you. I think a lot of people sometimes feel embarrassed or a bit ashamed in that, like, I'm having to, you know, maybe I don't come from a very rich family or I don't have support at home. I think people should actually, or students that come to the university should look at what the university offers them in terms of scholarships, in terms of bursaries, because it really helped me.
I always had a job throughout the whole time I was at university. I think the only time I didn't have a job were those first few months of kind of settling in, the freshers week and things. And I didn't even feel like it took away from my studies, like it actually added to them, because as well as having kind of the community that I was friends with on campus, I made friends in kind of the various jobs I had in the city centre as well. So yeah, it was something that I worried about, but I feel like the ways I supported myself through kind of employment and having a job is something I balanced well with my studies, and I feel like gave me really good experience to then apply for jobs post-university.
Was a bit out of my comfort zone. Like, I think it was a bit daunting knowing that, you know, you go to your intro lecture and they're like, you're going to be doing these presentations in front of everyone, or like group work, but you learn as you go, and like everyone's in the same boat, and the lecturers are very aware of the progression from school to uni, and that it is very different. So they kind of make sure everyone's on the same like playing field. It's learning, that's a learning process. Like, again, you don't come to university and straight away know how to learn as a university student. No one has it figured out straight away, and it's just like enjoying that process and enjoying the learning is like really key.
I remember from the open day, as well as kind of just strolling around and seeing what campus had to offer, my department had, I think, like taster lectures. You get to experience what kind of the subject might be like, everything that York had to offer. I kind of just instantly knew I wanted to be here. Like, it was honestly like, yeah, this is where I want to go. Just got such a good vibe, not only about the city, but the campus, that I didn't get at other universities. It was kind of, do I like the campus, do I like the city? I liked both. And it was just like, yeah, this is where I want to be. So, yeah.
I like community. Community is really important to me. So when I saw York, I saw the colleges and I saw the campus. I was like, that's for me.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
And I applied quite late, so I didn't actually visit on the open day, which I wish I had done, because I went to lots of other university open days, and that's how I sort of understood that thing about myself.
Take a beat, take a moment to think about it. Don't feel like you have to go to university with your friends. Like you said, you're going to look back and think 3 years ago, oh my goodness me, like, I can't believe I managed to, like, because you managed to learn to self-soothe as well, like in terms of your emotions, and there's just so much in terms of like, you're now doing things alone for the first time. Obviously you have your friends and your partner or whatever and like your course mates, but it's you who's feeding yourself every day, it's you that's taking care of yourself, it's you that's doing your studies and making sure you're on top of it. And it's really nice to be able to like kind of walk away and kind of have that experience, and like you've gone from somebody who needed to rely on your parent care and guardians to now actually being a full-fledged adult.
All of the things that might be sort of worrying, like financially, there is support there. If you're worried about like going to a higher level of study, there's support there. You don't have to have it all figured out straight away, and if you're on the fence, I'd say just literally go for it, because it's such a fab experience. It's so unique. Like, I can't, until you've done it, it's really hard to explain what it's like, but it's so important. I wouldn't be who I am now without it, so.